Hello everyone, my name is Fatoumata and I'm from Mali. So as we are in international university here, and most of us come from different parts of the world, I would like to take advantage of that opportunity to ask you guys to think about yourself before you were in your country. Think about yourself before you had been in any other country. Do you guys think that something has changed in you? Because me, I know that going abroad has played a big role in my life. So why should we go abroad? First of all, going abroad makes you more open-minded and gives you a new perspective of life. What do I mean by that? In 2009, while I was in 9th grade, I got the chance to participate to the camp of the first Youth Olympic Games, which took place in Singapore. For the first days of the camp, I was really shy and scared to talk to people because I didn't want to be rejected among all those people. I was feeling uncomfortable among all those people who seemed like they knew each other before. They all speak English, but I could barely express myself in English at that time. And moreover, in Mali, sometimes I'm polite to just come to talk to strangers without asking them about their country or anything or getting to know them. I thought that would be the same case in Singapore, but in reality, I was wrong. After 2-3 days, I started to realize that just hiding in my spot was not the most effective thing to do. I knew that I had to come to people in order for them to accept me. I also knew that I had to come to them, to ask them about their culture or their country. By the end of the camp, I could have defined myself as being a more accepting person. I made friends from all over the world that I couldn't imagine before. I got the chance to learn about Asian culture because we used to have some journey fiestas where they were exposing Asian culture and Singaporean food and everything. I got the chance to play new activities that I hadn't done before, like skateboarding. And I even got the chance to meet with the champion Michael Klein, who was the champion of swimming at that time. What if I hadn't been in Singapore to know that over there it's sometimes impolite for youngsters to shake hands with old people? What if I hadn't been in Singapore in that camp to know that outside of Mali, it is not unpolite to ask strangers about their culture without getting to know them? And then after the camp, I got the chance to participate to the exchange student program, to spend 1 year in America. In August 2010, we were 12 students to go to Washington, D.C. And from there, I was placed in a Black American family in a small town called Little Elm in Texas. At first, I was really confused because that was what I thought of America. Like New York City, crowd all over the streets, shopping centers every corner, beautiful stars and Hollywood stars everywhere. But in reality, I was wrong. Because that was the real life in Texas, with only old people walking around with their dogs in the street. I had to walk 15 minutes just to get to Walmart. And that was a pretty weird life starting because that was not what I thought about it. And after 2-3 days, I had to go to school, and my host mom told me that I had to ride the bus at 7:30 o'clock. Although in Mali, if you say that bus comes at 7:30, it might come at 7:35 or maybe 7:40. That's the African culture, you know? And I went to the bus station at 7:33. I waited 5 minutes until I realized that I had missed the bus. That was a pretty different life starting because I knew I would have had tough time about punctuality because Africans, like we say, we are not punctual about time. And then I went to school. I could have said that that's the most shocking experience of my life ever. I told people I come from Africa and they started asking me every kind of questions. Oh, Fatou, how did you land up here? Because you don't have any planes in Africa. Do you guys sleep on top of trees in Africa? Because that's what I see in the TV. I was really surprised and shocked that they have such a bad image about my country. They thought of Africa like this. They thought of it like a lost village where everybody's supposed to know each other, where we have a common African language, where everybody's supposed to know each other, that we live with wild animals, that we don't have any shopping centers, just like those American kids. But after I got the chance to talk to them, tell them that Africa is not just about diseases, malaria and disasters. I told them that Africa is not a country, but actually it's a continent. I told some of them that we don't have a common African language, but it depends on where you live. And after 2-3 months, I believe that their perspective of Africa changed, because that is the real life in Mali. We have beautiful houses, just like those American kids. That I don't ride the school bus, but I actually go with my parents' car. That was really surprising for them, seeing an African girl walking on hills just like Americans. And then after the exchange student program, I got to learn another good advantage of going abroad. And that is, it makes you more responsible and makes you more independent. In the high school I went to, most of the kids had cars. They used to ride their cars to school. The first days, I was asking myself, all those kids are rich. Their parents bought them cars. But until I realized that in reality, their parents didn't buy it for them. Some of them start working since the age of 16 years old just to provide themselves their own cars. I had never seen something like that in my country. And for example, if an American kid wanted to go to a concert 1 month later, they will rather start worrying about it now, working for the money now, save some money to buy their own ticket for the concert, instead of asking their parents. In Mali, it was never like that. You want to go to a concert, oh, hello, daddy, give me money, I have to buy my ticket. I knew that that was something I learned abroad that I had to change in myself in order to be responsible and independent in life. And at the same time, you just get stronger in life. Once you live abroad, you get to know that whether you have problems, you are the one who is dealing it with your own. Nobody's going to step forward or risk their life just for you because you are screwed. If you have a problem, you're going to help it on your own. You don't have any parents to help you. You get to manage your life alone. You get to take good decisions alone. And that is what life is about, making the right decisions by yourself. Once you learn to be independent, nobody is going to step forward or give you actions, give you orders to manage your life because you already know what you are doing. Another good advantage of going abroad is that it helps you bring creative ideas, not only for yourself, but for your country. When I came back from the exchange student program, we had the alumni club for the YES program, the name of my exchange student program, where we used to meet once a month to decide what we could have done for our country. And at that time, there was a little process in Mali. There was a war in the northern part of the Mali. Some people had lost their houses. Some soldiers were hanging in the hospitals. They didn't have anything to eat. Some of them didn't have enough money to pay for the medicines. And something we saw in the US was that everybody just stepped forward to help each other out. Whether there was a problem, everybody just felt involved. At the school, we used to have recycling bins where people were asked to bring their old clothes and used shoes just to help poor people. We knew that those were good actions that we needed to bring back to our country. Now I will ask you guys that question. You went abroad, but what do you think that you have done for your country so far? What have you learned in another country that can help you bring creative ideas for your country too. Because it's not just about going abroad and learning for yourself, but it's about getting the good aspects of it, bring it in your own and make it as a big thing. We went from schools to schools and we collected funds. We collected used clothes and shoes. We distributed it among poor people. We went to the US Embassy to get some pounds. We went to the hospital to pay for soldiers' medicines. What if everybody stepped forward and took those kind of actions? I don't think that there would have been any underdeveloped country, but everybody will be developed somehow in your own way. What if everybody took such actions in African countries? I don't think that Africa will be called as an underdeveloped country, but it would have been emergent instead of being called underdeveloped. What if everybody just tried to do just a single step for its country? I don't think that the world could have been like it is right now. And finally, something common in all those countries that I have visited is that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter whether you are from Africa, whether you are from America or Asia. You get to know that we are all similar at a certain point. You get to know that we are all human beings. It doesn't matter what color you are. You get to know that despite the difference of culture, we are all the same. What if everybody just took the chance to visit just another country who has a different culture from theirs? Get to know the deep side of it and realize that in reality, we aren't that different. I don't think that we would have had a war with discrimination if everybody just went abroad and learned just a single culture. If everybody took actions to visit another country and take the good aspects of it, I don't think we would have had any similar racism, minority disparities, because you get to know that life is just like that. We are all the same. We are all human beings. And that is the beauty of going abroad. Thank you.